Hey there.
Whoa.
Welcome to Milford Radio. What's up, boys? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on?
Hanging in there. That was a nice intro. The Zeke man there, he made that one. That's good, Dan.
Yeah. Working on it, I'm getting better and better. It seems, I think, I hope.
Yeah. Well, we still ask you to do it, so I guess it's doing okay.
Yeah, I guess. There's a lot of pink in that one, I think.
Yes. Well, it's October. We have to do it.
Yes.
We haven't been on for a couple weeks. We've had a lot of different things. Last week was open house week, so a lot of the parents were busy, including most of us here on the show. But the last time we had a show was a good one. We had Superintendent Dr. Anna Kataya on, and the positive thing is we're still here in school. We're still our students are still learning, some at home virtually, and some in classroom. One thing, Haida, we were talking before the show. One thing I forgot to mention was, rumor has it that in the last 24 hours, there's been 3 schools with a COVID case. And I do know for sure. I got the letter from Dr. Kataya about Harborside, because that's where Kate is, and Foreign each had a case. We were not contacted for the contact tracing, but everyone gets a letter saying, hey, there was someone in your school with COVID.
Is it actually students testing positive or household members?
Yes, students.
Okay.
The one, and I don't recall which school it was, but one of them, the parents had it first, and I think the kid got it from the parents, which I think is a better sign that, it wasn't another kid at school.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure. But we're coming up to some crazy times as far as flu season and in the winter when everyone gets sick regardless. And now you throw in a pandemic on top of it, and it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, we had a number of Little League games canceled.
Really?
In Colin's age group, which is 8 and under or whatever, coach pitch. Not because kids tested, but because household members had. So they just canceled both teams.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots, like Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're not. Except we're not paying. We're not paying for daily tests.
Daily testing.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That potentially can make it worse. We're not in a bubble type situation. Us as society, like these NFL players, but it's crazy. And I'm sure Dr. Kataya, her job is just getting harder and harder, and it's only going to get harder going into the winter. I don't know what they're going to do with high school sports. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, the PSATs are tomorrow. Kids. Wow. I don't know if regular SATs are going to get delayed or canceled. I don't know. It's just, the whole situation is just nuts. A lot has happened since we've last broadcasted here on Milford Radio. I do want to mention that you could join us anytime if you. I'm going to. Where the heck do I do that? Comments. I'm going to post a link. If you want to join us live, you can actually be on the show. If not, anything that you post here on either Facebook or on YouTube, we will see it and we can put it up on the screen. So one thing I wanted to, actually, there's a lot of things. We have a ton of notes here. Our guest is with us. I see her in the green room now. We're going to get to her shortly. But there's been a lot of things going on here in Milford. One of the big things, which is a positive thing, we like to focus on more of the positive items here in Milford. The Best of Milford was released, and this was done by Milford Living Magazine, which is another tie into our guest tonight. But the Best of Milford was released, and there's the list of great businesses around the city is amazing. And a quick shout out to my wife, who's actually her and her partner, Monica, for being the best in Milford for math, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
So that was exciting to see. Yeah. So they're going to be doing some advertising and stuff with Milford Living.
And this is the first edition of Best of Milford, is it? Or have they done this before? Milford Living.
This is Milford Living. This is the first one they've done, and they've done a really good job. I mean, it hit social media really hard. They had some cool graphics to it, and I guess they got a lot of response of people voting. I was happy that Jimmy's got best pizza, even though Papa is probably a little angry on that, but I agree with that one.
It fuels the fire,
It is. It does.
For next year.
We got to get the Pizza Gavones back on. Get those crazy guys. What was his name? The Gorilla or something?
Oh man, I don't remember. That was a crazy night.
That was a crazy night. One big topic that we've been talking about here in Milford Radio is way that a topic. How do you do your toilet paper? I have a person in my office that always does the under. You have to physically grab. You have to go under the roll thing to pull down the toilet paper, and it's kind of annoying. So I'm voting for the one on the right, which is the over, and I think that's really the only way to do it. What do you guys say?
I'm gonna let Zeke be the deciding vote. I'm going under.
No
you
way,
go under?
really?
Yeah, under. Or I leave the empty roll and I put another one on top, and my wife loves that one.
I will admit I have done that before. So Zeke, which one?
I think that's Elizabeth's preferred one.
I'm an over guy, and I'll tell you why. Like, I saw a picture once of the patent for the toilet paper roll, and it shows it coming off like over the top, over on the over. So if that's the way.
That's OG.
Yeah, so that's the way they designed it and they wanted it to be. I guess that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I don't like it because if it comes down in the back, like when you go to pull it, it just rips every single time.
Yeah. And like you're reaching under and like touching
toilet paper. That's what it is.
That's true. That's true. And you're touching like to reach under, you have to like touch the roll as opposed to just taking a nice piece right in front and just pulling down.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Very simple.
This is important dialogue here. Riveting.
Yeah, we're gonna. Heis's answer was wrong. He's out. A quick shout out to the 12U Milford Little League softball girls. They won the state championship again. They won it last year. They won it again this year, and it's a great group of girls and families. Due to COVID, there is nowhere else to go. They won the state. They are Team Connecticut. If this was regular times, pre-pandemic, they would be going, I think, to the regionals. Yeah, where they would be Team Connecticut playing against, that's where it starts going on TV on ESPN. So they got that far. Last year, they were literally 1 out away from going to the Little League World Series, which last year was in Oregon. So they were going to Little League pays for the flights and everything. So a really good group of girls, and that's our Milford Girls Little League right here in Milford. So it was exciting to see.
Cool.
Yeah. Zeker, there's a new business coming in Milford.
Yeah, so I hear. According to the Milford Patch, there's a new business about to open in downtown Milford. Static Era and Records will open on 43 River Street on October 16th. And it seems like for now it's going to be open on Fridays and Saturdays. But according to the business, it's an independent record label distributed by One and Amplified Distribution. They stock new and cared for used vinyl accessories, new vintage music merchandise, books, zines, which I would assume is magazines, and more, according to its website. The owner, Jay Reason, he owns 2 record labels, Static Era and War God Collective, and he hopes people will come and browse the inventory and just hang out and have fun. He also promised there will be several surprises at the store.
Like using the word zines for magazines.
Yeah. I went to this cool store. It was in Louisville, Kentucky. You got to say it that way, Louisville. And
we're in Connecticut. It's Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Louisville. And it was cool. It was a whiskey bar, of course, and they had a whole bunch of vinyl records, and they were all numbered. And you could go through the categories and say, "Hey, I want to play record number 120," and they would go, and then they would put it up on the thing. But it was all vinyl records. So maybe we'll have a whiskey bar with some vinyl records here on River Street.
That'd be cool.
People like nostalgia, and it kind of brings people back when you used to go and look for your music and it wasn't on your phone immediately, and you have to try to find those rare finds maybe in music. So
Baba Booey from the Howard
Stern
Show.
Best of luck.
He loves
vinyl.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Heisa, you have some connections to the Milford Senior Center. There's some news coming up there.
Yeah. Well, connections. My mom's worked there for a good 15, maybe 20 years now. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, Milford Senior Center is creating a wall of honor as a tribute to the center members, veteran members. Servicemen and women wishing to be included in this honor may do so by contacting the Milford Senior Center. Yeah, it's a nice way to recognize and to let the public know about the service that men and women have given, and they're local heroes, really. So for Milford Senior Center to step up and recognize, that's great. I'm surprised it took this long, actually.
Yeah, no, I agree. One last thing before we get to our guest tonight, and then we have more news for you after this. But this is probably something you've seen the yard signs for, and if you're on social media and follow anything about Milford, you've probably seen these loud videos of people yelling the word "draffle." It's done by the Devon Rotary. Draffle is the DR stands for the Devon Rotary. Is the Rotary Club of Devon's latest effort to raise funds to benefit local nonprofits. Top prizes. I bought a couple raffle tickets, so I suggest you do it. You go to devonrotary.org. It's $20 a piece. Top prizes is the top prize. You win a $100 gift certificate to 30 restaurants right here in Milford.
Wow.
Second prize, you win $50 gift certificates to the same restaurants, the same 30. So you're talking $3,000 to $1,500 value. Third through 10th prizes is a $100 Visa gift card. So
wow,
it's a home run. I don't know how many people they're selling this to, but it's $20. I bought a few. Just get in there. Restaurants include Archie Moore's, Bar 333, Bistro, Bin, Bonfire, Bridge House, Citrus, blah, 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 Fratelli's, Gusto's. It goes on and on. So there's plenty of awesome restaurants here in Milford, and $3,000 goes a long way. Not so much for me. I could probably spend that in a night, but drink some good wine and
it's a lot of food.
Have some good meals. Yeah, it is a lot of food. But anyway, jump in there, go to devonrotary.org and check that out. So I do want to get to our guest. It is October, and that means that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our guest tonight is special to us here in Milford. About a decade ago, we met the founder of Get in Touch Foundation, Mary Ann. We had her on the show. Mary Ann was probably one of the nicest humans on the planet. She gave things to my kids, like literally one of their first bunk beds was from Mary Ann. In fact, 8 or 9 years ago, we hosted live on Milford Radio. We had a show raising money where we raised a couple $1,000 for them. We had live bands, we had drinks, a bunch of people were there, and it was a great time. Now we fast forward years later, and it's amazing to be joined on the show by her daughter, Betsy Nilan, who took her mother's foundation, is doing amazing things. Betsy is now the president of the Get in Touch Foundation. And Betsy, welcome to the show.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be on Milford Radio tonight. This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Anytime. Thanks for being with us. So I don't know if you caught that beginning video, but we do have some very fond memories of your mother and the show and in person. So give us a little bit of background of, kind of the transition to you and the Get in Touch Foundation and bring us up to date.
Yeah. So what's unique about the Get in Touch Foundation is that we focus on health rather than cancer. And I think that's one thing my mom really wanted to hone in on was the fact that we were educating as an organization, educating everyone on the importance of and how to do breast self-exams for life. And we want to make sure that they're simple, appropriate, and routine for everyone. And that's just the norm in schools. And sadly, when my mom did pass away in 2016, I stepped into her role as president of the organization to carry on this life-giving mission and legacy. And it was definitely an interesting transition from being her assistant to running the organization. But with the help of the Milford community and with our awesome team, our small but mighty team, we have been able to accomplish a lot, especially with the groundwork my mom laid. And we've reached over 1 million students in all 50 states and 34 different countries with our free Daisy Wheel tool, which educates on the 8 steps on how to do a breast self-exam. So what we've been trying to do is make sure that everyone has access to this information on how to do a breast self-exam, that it's free and accessible for all, and entering that digital sphere of being able to have our Daisy Wheel as an app and online and free for school nurses and health educators. So, it was an interesting transition in that I was stepping into the role of not only our founder's shoes, but my mom's. And I remember someone saying, one day you're going to think of your mom and you're going to smile instead of cry. And the day that happened, it made it so much easier for me to be like, oh my God, okay, yes, keep doing this work. I believe in this work. I mean, I've been doing breast self-exams my entire life. I saw how it extended my mom's life. My mom found a lump on her breast after she had been doing breast self-exams her entire life. And then she went to the doctor and the doctor said, don't worry about it. Come back in a year. It's probably nothing. But because my mom was her own health advocate, she was able to speak from a place of confidence. And that's one thing she definitely instilled with me was, make sure you're your own health advocate. You know your body better than anyone else. So she got a second opinion and found out she had breast cancer in both breasts. But thank God she did. And because of that, she saw me graduate from 8th grade, high school, college. She zipped me into my prom dress and we went wedding dress shopping and I wasn't even in a relationship. And we just, we did all of those things together. And I owe it to the fact that she did a breast self-exam and she made those routine her entire life. And that's what we're trying to do right now is make sure that's the norm in schools and that people grow up just making this part of their normal health routines, like brushing your teeth. Like it should be like, you don't remember when you learned, but you do it when you wake up and you do it before you go to bed. And that's what happens. So
that's great. Tell us, it's all about the Daisy Wheel, right? So Can you give us a little information about the Daisy Wheel itself? And I know you took it from the physical wheel, which I know is still around, but making that app.
Yeah, so our physical wheel was invented because my mom I actually went to school at St. Anne's in Milford when that was still open. And my mom went to the school nurse there and said, oh my gosh, Mrs. Schultz, we have to sign up for that program that teaches everyone how to do a breast self-exam. And she said, oh, Marianne, that sounds amazing, but there's nothing like it. And my mom was in disbelief and she could not believe it. So she went to her oncology nurse, she went to our pediatrician, she went to her breast surgeon, and there was nothing like it. But my mom, being the problem solver and entrepreneur, was like, okay, let's have these people come together, these medical professionals come together, make a tool that can be free and accessible for everyone. And that is the Daisy Wheel, which has 8 steps on how to do breast self-exam. And it's provided completely free to schools. So school nurses, whether you're small school in Milford, Connecticut, or you're an entire school district in New York City, we will send you however many Daisy Wheels you need to educate the students there. And we just recently shift to create more tools. We launched our free Daisy Wheel app, which is free and accessible for everyone. So you go to the App Store, download the Daisy Wheel app. It walks through the 8 steps on how to do a breast self-exam. And what's cool about it is that it syncs your calendar so you can get regular reminders. And it's completely free. And then as a response to COVID-19, we also launched a new educational tool called our Educators Toolkit, which is a presentation all packaged together with everything educators need so they can present whether in person or online, because we were talking with so many educators this summer and they had no idea what was going to happen, come school year, which people are still figuring out. And, some people have started in person and now are, doing a hybrid approach or just everyone's virtual. So they needed something that, could help them have that ease of mind going into the school year. And that's what we created.
Hey, Betsy, what's going on?
Hey, Dan.
It's good to see you.
Well, good to see you.
Hey, first of all, congratulations on everything that you've accomplished with the Get in Touch Foundation. I know that you've worked really hard and, you're working out in New York now, right? Are you still down there?
I am. So awesome. I live in New York City. Yep.
Cool. I know that the Get in Touch Foundation has been a big part of Milford. Who are some of like the local supporters or partners that you have here in the city?
In Milford, Connecticut, right?
In Milford, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So some of the partners and the supporters we've had, I'm thinking of the Milford Bank. I'm thinking of Subway, Junior Women's Club of Milford. Tribus has been amazing. The Rotaries have been hugely helpful.
Tribus.
Yes. Yep, Tribus. So yeah, Milford Bank, Milford Rotary, Junior Women's Club of Milford, Tribus. Schools that come to mind, Laurelton Hall. Laurelton Hall was the first school to implement our program. So they've been implementing our program for now 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they've embraced it right away. They've been hosting Get Your Pink On Days, where the school will commit to having everyone wear pink and then make a donation to help support our mission. And they've been awesome. I know East Shore hosts a Get Your Pink On Day fundraiser every year for the Get in Touch Foundation. The Daisy Bowl is another fundraiser we have in Milford, and two amazing Milford community members, Shailene Landsberg and Kathy Lang. They host our Daisy Bowl fundraiser in Milford every year and get together the weekend of the Super Bowl and raise some funds for Get in Touch. So we definitely would not be here today without the support of the local Milford community. And it's amazing to see that we're a grassroots nonprofit with a global reach. And it's really, truly because of the Milford community, what we've been able to accomplish and how many students we've been able to educate with the support of the community.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great, Betsy. I to see how much the foundation has grown and the impact that you guys have made, not only in local community, but, on the outreach to global communities as well. How's the impact of branding, marketing, and kind of your corporate partnerships? How has that helped the foundation? I always see the ad for like the guest watch run with the pink watch and everything. How has that positively impacted the foundation?
Yeah, so I think our partners have also been a huge part of, why we are here today. We run strictly on donations and the generosity of our partners. So some of the partners we have, so ShopRite in Milford, actually, Harry Garofalo's ShopRite stores host a fundraiser for us every year. That has been amazing to see 6 different ShopRite stores around Connecticut embrace Get in Touch and fundraise for us throughout the month of September. And then Guest Watches has been huge for the organization. So 7 years ago, we started partnering with them in October, and they launched a special edition watch and eyewear for the Get in Touch Foundation with a certain percentage that is donated to the Get in Touch Foundation. Obviously Guess, a global fashion brand, partnering with the Get in Touch Foundation. I remember that day when my mom came home from work and was like, oh my God, you will never guess who wants to partner with the Get in Touch Foundation. And that was a dream come true. And it's been pretty awesome to see that relationship evolve and see all the employees and all the team members from Guest Watches and Guests embrace this and help move this mission forward. Like, they truly have a passion for the work that we do, and they embrace health education, and they're a partner we never have to worry about being off brand. They are always talking about breast health and doing what they can to, further push our mission with the platform that they have, because they have a huge platform. But their branding has definitely helped us out and help us reach a different audience. And what's better than that? And yeah.
Speaking of off-brand, we know your view on this question, but we saw a Facebook post that you made, and I thought it was important to bring up. What are your thoughts on slogans like "Save the Tatas" and other slogans like that? And we saw a post of yours, which I thought was pretty powerful, but I think it would be cool for you to share it.
Yeah, so there's a story behind why I have a certain viewpoint, and it took a moment in time for me to really put things into perspective. So I was 13 years old. That was when my mom was first diagnosed with breast cancer. And I came back from school, and a parent from the school I was at gave me and my 2 siblings a bracelet that said, save the boobies. And she said, hey, yeah, wear these. This will, support your mom, show her that you love her. I mean, there were also, thinking back, a million other things I could have done to, support her and show her that I loved her. And maybe the bracelet wasn't the best one, but my mom saw the bracelet and she started to cry. And I know I was incredibly confused. I thought this was a nice gesture. And why was it making my mom cry? But my mom saw Save the Boobies and she was like, save the boobies, save the tatas, save the person's life. Save my life. Isn't my life important? So I think in just, being in the middle of October when things are pink washed and, marketing and branding is pink in every corner, everywhere that you turn, do your research, make sure you know where that money's going. Make sure the branding is respectful, and that, it values a person's life. And just also remembering that every single person has breast tissue. It's not just women. Like literally everyone has breast tissue. So there's just no reason to sexualize something, especially a disease that took my mom from me. No reason to do that. So
yep.
Showing respect is really important. And I think being able to put a story out there like that can help bring some perspective to people who may not know that. And it's no fault, of theirs. But once you hear it, I hope you never forget it. Because I know that once my mom put things into perspective for me, I was like, oh my God,
you're
that
like,
makes sense.
Of course. You're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I guess I was 13 at that point, but it took me a few years to even wrap my mind around that of like, oh my God, that's actually really offensive marketing.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. So where do you see, we're going to let you go, but I kind of want to wrap this up with, where do you see the foundation making an impact now and in the future? I know you have your goals with, with in education and the Daisy Wheel and all that, but kind of what is the next thing for Get in Touch Foundation? And there really doesn't have to be one because you guys are kicking butt in what you're doing, but is there a big plan out there that you're going after, the next step?
Yeah, I mean, we just want to be the household name for breast self-exams. Like we want everyone talking about breast self-exams. It's something that could potentially be seen as a taboo topic because we're talking about breasts in an appropriate way. I mean, I talk about breasts all day, every single day. So this is my job. But we want to make sure that this is something where, kids grow up and they're comfortable talking about, rather than, growing up and they're afraid to talk about their breasts. And then eventually they're afraid to even touch their breasts and know what's normal and healthy for them. There was a girl, I was speaking at a school, and a girl came up after and said she had never done a breast self-exam because she was so ashamed and uncomfortable with her body. So there are like bigger issues that, we have to tackle.
Right.
But we want to make sure that growing up, students and kids learn at a young age so they can make breast self-exams simple, appropriate, and routine. And I think that our free Daisy Wheel app is going to be that key tool into, helping make that a reality.
Awesome. I mean, overall, we're really, really proud and happy to have you here. We're proud to have the Get in Touch Foundation based out of Milford. And of course, having you here on Milford Radio tonight. How can people who are watching, or anyone that we can, share, how can people support you and get the foundation, give to the foundation here in Milford?
So definitely check out our website, www.getintouchfoundation.org. You can find out ways to get involved. Right now, we've paused our in-person events for the foreseeable future. But hopefully, if you follow us on social media, you can see when we're going to have some things in the Milford community that you can attend. Follow us on social media, and you can make a donation to us. That's a huge way to support us, to help us continue doing our work, and then downloading the Daisy Wheel app and sharing it with your friends. That's it.
Awesome. Well, Betsy, it was so great to have you on. We love everything about the Get in Touch Foundation. It's kind of amazing that, us three random dudes here have been, part of the Get in Touch Foundation for over a decade now. And we love everything that you guys are doing. And we're just so happy to have you on the show. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Mark, Dan, Chris. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be on Milford Radio, and talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Betsy.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you.
All right. Betsy Nilan from the Get in Touch Foundation. Honestly, like when I was making the introduction, I was getting kind of goosebumps, like talking about Marianne. She was such an amazing person. Like I'm not kidding you. The day after the first time we had her on the show, I think we hung out for an extra hour after the show, just shooting the shit, hanging out. And within like the same week, she's like, hey, it might have been Betsy and her sister's bed. She's like, hey, I got this extra bunk bed. I know your kids are young. Do you want it? And Sarah and I happen to be in the market for it. We're like, yeah, we'll take it off her hands. So my father-in-law and I, we drove to her house. We picked it up. She was full of hugs, and she's just the nicest person that I think I've ever met. Like, honestly, changed my life a little bit as far as like how to view life.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Marianne was an amazing person. I mean, can you imagine, Betsy all of a sudden being in the position to, kind of fill those shoes, so to speak? I would be like, wow, now what do I do? How do I measure up to my mom? Like she's right. An amazing person. What do I do? But, I think she's done a great job, taking it to the next level.
And taking it into the newer generation, right? Like putting an app together, like being relevant at guest watches, and she's doing a great job. I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that as well. Like I couldn't imagine anyone else obviously filling those shoes than our daughter, but also the personality, the energy, the passion that she brings to the foundation and the message that's being spread. It was like just a perfect match. So they did a great job so far, and there's gonna be, I think, a lot of better things in the future for the foundation and getting the word out and being that household name for the younger generations coming up as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with you. All good. That was a good interview. It was great to have Betsy on here, and hopefully as they keep growing and there's more announcements to be made, because I have a feeling, Betsy's a pretty smart woman, that there's going to be some new technology, new advancements going on with Get in Touch. So I hope everyone go to getintouchfoundation.org, donate a couple bucks. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't need to donate $1,000. Like a couple bucks will go a long way. It's about the numbers. So it is October.
And it's a nice opportunity for the corporations out there, for anyone listening.
Yeah,
to really partner with a great foundation and great message, and it'd be a great on both sides for any kind of business.
Yeah, and to your point, if a company like Guess, I mean that's a big company. If a company like Guess is willing to put their brand name and attach it to a nonprofit, that says a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're a small to mid-sized company and it doesn't have to be in Milford, that wants to tie themselves to a foundation that, for lack of a better word, not embarrass you and do what's right, and women's health and all that kind of stuff, this is the organization to do it. So that was great. Good to see Betsy all grown up. I'm so old. Look at your beard. Look at my beard.
Living in the big city.
I still didn't have hair back then, so I'm all right. I haven't aged at all.
This is from, I want to say 9 years ago. That is me. That was at the.
You still have that purse?
No, that's not a purse. Do you remember what that was?
No.
Zeke, I think you did that show with me, I think.
I don't remember what that is.
I don't know what that is.
They built that is a bra, and it was designed to collect money.
To collect money, like fill the boot.
Collect money. Yeah,
like
it was fill the boot.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Didn't Christina wear that at first, and then you took it from her or something? Yeah.
I think Tina made it. I think she built it, and then she was carrying it around collecting money. And I decided to do that, but that was a long, fun night.
That was fun.
That was a couple bottles of wine, I'm sure, Mark.
Jeff Browning was there. He was doing a tasting. Sweet Melissa's Cupcakes was there. Keith Caro's band was there playing music.
All outside cafe, right?
That was pre-COVID. We were still outside.
Yeah,
we were ahead of the times.
The Rock On Girls.
Yes. Yeah. They were there. Yeah. That was the Me Girls. Yep. So, awesome times. And I had this one too. That was part of the video at the beginning, but Suzanne is on the left. That is actually the owner of Milford Living magazine. And the one on the right is Marianne Nilan. That's Betsy's mother, who started, the founder of the Get in Touch Foundation. So we're excited to keep the tradition going and support the Get in Touch Foundation. Hopefully you guys do too. And like we said, any amount of money, and I think Hyde's a great point, any size company to support, like what a lot of these companies are doing, and I think ShopRite does it too. Do the what do they call it? Get your pink on day, where every employee just donate $1 and wear pink that day. I mean, that adds up, and then you donate a couple $100 to schools are doing it. Any company around here in Milford can in surrounding areas can do that and donate a couple bucks. So we want them to be a household name. What was up with your camera, Zeke? Someone in here said, clean your camera.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I kind of I ditched out for a minute.
He looked a little hazy.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I cleaned it off with.
What are you
my
doing
phone.
on that computer? Should we be looking at your web history?
Yeah, well, I wonder why it's so dirty.
I don't know.
Oh,
I cleaned it with my thumb.
Yeah, we heard your mic was still on.
Oh. Was it really?
Yeah, I took you off screen and I muted you.
Oh shit!
You'll see it in the replay.
I forgot about that.
Like, what's wrong with this dude? Oh man. So rookie the mall. Yeah. Well, Zeke is not a rookie. He's a powerhouse.
For what?
Pro now.
In the YouTube world.
Getting there.
Yeah.
23 videos now. Wow.
That's good. Zeke Man. Follow him on YouTube.
Yeah.
Great channel. I saw the last one was what was the last one? And I just watched it yesterday. Was it the Italian in Providence, part 2?
No, it was Milford Book and Video Tour.
Yeah.
You went to a little Italy that no one knows. Cranston, right?
I went to Cranston, yeah, and then I just released one tonight. Also, I went up and took a hike up around Gillette's Castle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're not letting you in. They don't let you in because of COVID and everything, but I just went and walked around. But
the dragon.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, eventually you'd like to make money, putting out videos and things like that. But I mean, other than that, it's fun. It gets you out. There's really no other people in Connecticut like YouTubing, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah. I mean, there's people that put up videos here and there, but no one that's doing it, to really do
seriously.
It. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Well, I don't know how to segue this, but the Milford Mall.
Speaking of money.
Speaking of
most, the Milford Mall, when we had Mayor Ben Blake on, it has to be over a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, was talking about the Milford Mall. So the Milford Mall has been losing money. They're about to close, all that kind of stuff. And their big plan, the people who own the mall, said, we want to put in a $75 million like apartment complex. I guarantee you it'd be beautiful, and they probably do a great job. And their claim is that is the only way to save the mall. Which, first of all, if the mall goes away, I don't think it's going to affect anyone from Milford, because 99.999% of the people who go to the mall do not live in Milford. If you've ever been there, I've never seen like a neighbor being like, "Hey, how are you?"
Dick's and Target.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
I don't even consider that the mall. You know, you run into the stores, you're in and out.
Right. I would say Target. Yeah, you'll see some people, but if you enter the actual
mall, no one's roaming the halls with their jacket halfway down their back, waiting for their mom to pick them up.
And the chicken teriyaki place, it's been there forever also.
They still offer the chicken on the stick as you're passing by. But basically the city of Milford, the planning and zoning shot them down. They did not agree. They said they're not approved to put in the $75 million luxury apartment complex. Obviously, the city does not want to lose that tax revenue. I think the mall, as it currently exists, is paying around $3 million a year in taxes, which is big. I mean, that directly impacts us, right? Like if the city loses $3 million of tax revenue, someone's paying for it, and that's probably going to be us. But at the same time, we learned, and I think it was from Ben when he was on, and it might have been off camera, I don't remember. But they said if they do change the zoning laws, like for the mall to put in luxury apartments or put in apartments in general, that changes the zoning laws for the entire Post Road in Milford. So that one, complex could then turn the whole mall, the Post Road, into a bunch of apartments or
residential,
hotel, residential. And I don't know. I don't think that's the way I want to go with the Post Road, but whatever. Heiza may be disappearing any minute now. He's having some
I got it covered. I think I got it covered.
So this whole residential complex, they want to actually replace the mall, the whole entire property into a complex, or is it just a portion of it?
I think they're building new where Sears in the parking lot was, and they're going to utilize parts of the mall for things too. But doesn't matter. Not happening. Won't happen on Blake's watch.
Won't happen on my watch.
Right. On my guest watch.
There's so many other things that they can use, and they can adapt, and it could be parceled off to other kinds of activities. What's making a comeback because of this whole COVID thing are drive-in movie theaters. And having concert series outside, from your car. And
they did do that at the mall. They're currently doing that.
Yeah. And that's not such a bad idea or bad use of space. It's not going to be $3 million worth in tax revenue, but
Amazon, let Amazon just buy it and put in a distribution center. That way I will get my stuff in 2 hours when I order on Amazon. Number one. Right. Number two, I won't have 7,000 apartment buildings clogging up traffic on the Post Road. Just give me that, or a big Halloween store and a fireworks store. That's it. Seasonal.
Yeah.
Who knows? I am 100% against luxury apartments at the mall. I mean, we have enough congestion on that Post Road to already, and that's
you know what? Yeah, and they throw that luxury term around. What's luxury? It's different for everyone, right? What is luxury, and how does that turn into the type of apartments you probably don't want sometimes, so it's, I don't know, how long would it be luxury until they don't have enough people to fill the vacancy, and then they'll just bring in everyone, and plus who wants to live on the Post Road and near the truck stop in luxury apartments? It's not like you're by the water.
Yeah, you're right. You are not. You're near the old Milford High Line, which is now Lowe's.
Yeah.
But we should get Tevin and Badiola. We should see if they were Milford High Line studs back in the day. We should see if they're still alive and get them on the show. Yeah. Do you remember Badiola? And we used to go there, I think, underage. for $1 hot dog and $1 beer night for WPLR. I think it was Thursday night.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Should do that.
High school sports has been going on, which has been great. At least some sports. I know football did not go, but they are doing some like passing program. It's basically like touch football that they're doing right now. But at least the kids are outside. It's great to see the kids out there staying busy. It is going to be interesting to see what happens in the winter sports. I did hear actually recently, and I think the CIAC just passed this, that certain spring sports are actually going to be played after the school year ends. So let's say the school year ends on June 10th, and I'm just making up a date because I really have no idea what the last day of school is. But potentially the baseball season, if June 10th is the last day of school, baseball might go to June 20th, which is interesting. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened when like school's not in session, but high school related sports are going, which is interesting. I don't know.
Wow.
I actually, when I coached Badiola, tuck in your shirt. When I coached tennis,
I think we changed the B to an F back in the day.
Badiola. We had so many rainouts one year when I was coaching that we actually had tennis matches for like states, not regular season, but that were past the graduation date.
Wow.
I think that might be what they're talking about, that the postseason of high school sports will be after school ends. So so then it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, at one time for tennis, but who cares about that?
Andre Agassi, obviously.
Talk about the combine, the football combine. I think I have a few years eligibility left.
I think you are right. The Milford Recreation Department. So that's all. That's the Billy Garfield and everybody else that Milford Rec came up with the Milford Youth Combine. It's coming up November 3rd of this year. This event is Milford's little spin on the punt, pass, and kick competition with a mix of the football combine. It's going to be held for both boys and girls between the age of 5 and 15. So Heiser, you're in. You're there. You're not as great as Zeke.
They should hold one for 40 plus too.
I don't think the emergency room can handle it.
Actually, here's for Get in Touch Foundation. We have a football combine for 40-year-olds plus, and we'll be punting for, well, we can't say tatas, but punting for women's health. So
yeah, punt away breast cancer.
We'll do, yeah, there we go. We'll do a 40-yard dash without whoever doesn't pull a hammy wins.
You know? Yeah, that side of the hospital.
Oh my God.
I don't, Zeke, did you play with us on the Milford Radio flag football team?
No, I did not. I did not want to subject myself to getting injured.
There were some bad injuries.
We had broken. Who was it? Tim.
Tim.
His finger snapped here and went completely sideways.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Keith got hurt.
Keith. I know Keith got hurt, right? Yeah.
I broke my finger too, and I think that was the next year.
I couldn't block anyone without slamming to the ground like WWE.
It was bad.
It was so illegal.
For the Get in Touch Foundation, they do have the Daisy Bowl, which Sarah plays every year, and it's awesome. It's on Super Bowl Sunday morning. The girls go out there and have a full football game, flag football. We could be the halftime show with the old dude punt, pass, and kick competition.
Yeah.
We could do it.
That'd be something to watch.
It would be ugly. So at this Milford Youth Combine, there's 5 events overall. The broad jump, punting, passing, kicking, and of course the 40-yard dash. All events will be held in their age groups. The winner of each event will get a trophy, and that, like I said, is November 3rd. You go to milfordrecreation.com, and it's only $5 to enter. So why not? I mean, I'm going to enter myself.
The Giants and the Jets should send scouts. They might pick up some talent.
They're the worst. The Buffalo Bills are the best New York team. in all of sports.
That's not New
That's
York.
crazy.
That's Canada.
No, that's that is true.
Pretty much.
Oh man. So then finally we're gonna get out of here. But this is a 5K that I've done for several years now with my family, and I should have uploaded a picture to put it on the screen, but it's my screensaver on my phone. It's the Trick or Trot 5K. It's the 9th annual. It's to benefit the Bethel Center, and this year it's virtual, which is kind of weird because it was cool. The last couple of years you show up in costume. I think my family went with the superhero theme, and I think I was a Ninja Turtle, and I'm not sure that a Ninja Turtle is a superhero, but for the 5K it worked.
Borderline, but maybe.
No, probably not. I ran like a turtle, but this year it's virtual, so you run or walk on your own or with a small group, and while physically distancing, to support people experiencing hunger and homelessness in our community. It's the fee is $27 for adults, $20 for ages 18 and under. The ticket includes virtual yoga, a Halloween costume contest, virtual trivia, and a winner's circle ceremony. And you can learn more. Go to Milford trickortrot.com.
9th
It's a
annual.
cool event. It's a cool event. Sarah makes a good point.
I got a question about that. So doing virtually, what do you just you do it and you log it?
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna win.
I picture myself just dressed in a costume randomly doing the 5K by myself.
Film yourself leaving and then film yourself coming back.
Or just running through the center of town, not on Halloween, just in a pink tutu. All right, I'm doing a 5K.
You're practicing.
It's just another Tuesday. No big deal. Coming through.
Tuesday.
So have we agreed that Heisa is the only one that goes under?
Yes.
I'm not the only. There's others out there.
They will never admit it because it is the minority and it's not the right way. If you're on the left here, you might want to see a doctor or something.
You can't sway me. You can't sway. My opinion's
There's
made
no
up.
way. Next time I'm at your house, I'm going to check your toilet paper roll. There's no way Elizabeth allows you to go under.
Yeah.
I
No
go
way.
under. No.
And then they get fixed. They get fixed.
You better not touch my toilet paper, Mark.
I was say the next time we're over, we're just gonna raid every bathroom and switch them off.
You're an under? What's wrong with you?
What's your problem, man?
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It is getting close to closing time. So, boys, good hanging with you tonight. Zeke, good always to see you. You got a nice clean screen going.
You got the Vaseline off your screen. You look good. I thought it was some sort of filter that you were, there's some YouTube thing.
Of course.
The
gray reducing filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's called Just for Men. All right, boys. Good seeing you. We'll see you next time here on Milford Radio.
No.